Thank you. It's 5 o'clock. It's time for Watch Me Work. We've been doing this show for like a million years. No, but who's fact checking, right? We've been doing this show for a gazillion years. We've made $1 billion and we've had a lot of fun. Anyway, no, I'm Suzan-Lori Parks, SLP, and we want to give a shout out of thanks to the Public Theater, the New Work Development Department, and a shout out of thanks to HowlRound. They've been supporting us for the 15 years or so we've been doing this show. We used to do it live in the lobby of the Public Theater, and since COVID lockdown, we went online, and here we are happiest, and here we will be. What we do is we work for 20 minutes together, and then I take questions from y'all about your work and your creative process. And while there is not enough bandwidth for you to read your work or perform your work or show me your choreography or your architecture project, there's plenty of time to talk process, because that's what it is all about. So if you would like to get in touch and talk process after the 20 minutes of work time, new work development, let's hear how you do it.
Yes. Hello and welcome to another session of Watch Me Work. Happy spring. It's so great to see everyone. My name is Zoe. I'm the New York Development Manager here at the Public Theater. After a 20-minute of quiet work session, we'll go ahead and get a nice queue going for questions. If you have a question to ask, please go ahead and click the React button at the bottom of your Zoom screen. That's where the heart is. And then it'll give you an option to click Raise Hand. So if you could raise your hand, we'll get a nice order of questions going and I will call on your name and you can ask your question. Thank you.
Thank you, Zoe. Thank you, Thea. I am winding up my timer, and we will work now. See you soon. All right, all right. Woo-hoo. We're back. And now it's time for to hear your questions. How you doing?
Yes.
What you up to? All those good things.
Yes, David, please unmute and ask your question.
Hey, David, how are you?
Wonderful. Thank you, SLP. I'm having a great time. Always a pleasure to be here.
Always good to see you. Your smiling face.
Thank you so much. I had a breakthrough during that 20 minutes, so I want to thank everybody who was actually watching me work. It was really, it was really, I mean, you can call it a coincidence if you like, but I think it's the energy of the shared enterprise myself. So thank you all for being
Yes, right
here.
on.
It was great. Feels really good. I've been worried about how much meta plot my plot can handle. And just while we were all at our little own workstations there, I've decided I've settled on the number of levels of reality. I'm really happy about it. Yeah,
Oh,
it
how
really,
exciting.
really feels good. So,
So is this for your play or is this for everybody in the world?
oh yeah, no, if I were in charge, believe me, I would take care of all of that. But no, I'm afraid I can only control what I can control.
Oh, okay. Okay, right on. I'm so pleased.
Great. Kayla, please go ahead and unmute and ask your question.
Hey, Kayla.
Hey, SLP. So I think the last time I was here, I was launching into a movement theater project, and I wanted to share that that went up and this month, and we were sold out, and we had live music and dance together, and we had an amazing talk back that was actually engaging with people actually asking real questions and having really deep thoughts about culture. And so thanks for helping guide me through that. But my question, partially out of that journey, is do you have, or I'm asking about methodologies for vetting collaborators. Yeah. I was partnered with a collaborator through the venue, and my gut instincts in the beginning, were a little bit concerned, but I firmly believe I can work with anyone. So I was like, I could do this, and I wrote a grant that secured funding for the collaborator, but at no point did I ever feel fully seen by my collaborator.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah. So, everything went well, and but I wish I had a methodology in the beginning to sort of address some of the issues I had to navigate regarding just mutual respect. I mean, that's all I think is ever baseline, in a partnership. So these are my questions.
Yeah, like, I mean, how do you vet? I sense, Kayla, that already. You had a gut feeling. Is that correct? That this person might be maybe not the right fit. No disrespect. Just some people work better with other people. No harm, no foul.
Yeah.
That's your go-to, I think, always.
Yeah, but it was like, the venue was kind of like a trifecta with the venue, and
I hear you. I've been in those situations. Oh Lord have mercy. Yeah, I've been in those situations, and I think going forward, as you continue in your success, you remind yourself that your gut knows, and you like you said, you can work with anybody, which is really beautiful. And, I'm so proud of you that you have that kind of attitude. And a lot of us we can work with anybody. And yet, when we work with really collaborators who see us, who can really work with us, then we are able to do our best work instead of like managing, a whole bunch of stuff that comes along with the process, but might just be a distraction, kind of. So I say continue to go with your gut. And as you continue to, have a say in who you get to work with, even if they're like, ooh, this famous person wants to work with me, but I don't feel so good when I talk to her, you know what I mean? Then you have to go on to the, yeah, does that help? I mean, you made it through. It sounds like you had a great show.
Yeah. No, in the end, it was, great, and the collaborator behaved at the end, which was Steve. But
I know, sister. I know. I mean, in film, right? I've been in situations where the producers go, well, at least there's no blood on the screen. I mean, that's the base, we get across the finish line and there's no blood on the screen. And I'm like, and if, and you just live and learn and keep working.
Yeah. Okay. No, this is good.
And maybe be a little more front-footed with your expectations going in, maybe. But I'm not saying it's your fault, because it's not. These things happen. These things happen.
Thank you.
Join the club. In a situation. Yeah, right. Right. You do it so beautifully. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sheila. Timothy, please unmute and ask your question.
Hey, SLP, how are you?
Timothy, how you doing, bro?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing okay. I had an interesting and unexpected situation come up, and I wanted to get your thoughts on it. I'm working with a group, and they set out a prompt, which is, it's sort of political in nature, but their thinking was write a monologue of a character who completely agrees with you, and then write a second monologue of a character who is completely on the opposite point of view from where you are.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually found that really difficult.
Really what? Really, you found it
really difficult.
Oh, which one? Which part of it?
The trying to write a good character from an opposite point of view. And I just wondered if you'd ever encountered anything where, like, we always try to like do this, so like there's no bad guys per se, just everybody's trying to do what they gotta do. But I was just like, how am I gonna do this in a way that, doesn't get me upset, and still, like, creates a character that's not a cartoon, let's put it that way.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah. So you always think that, like, you know how to write a character, and you can sit down and do it and just do what you know how to do. And then this came up, and I was actually kind of like stopped, like blocked, and that was pretty unexpected. So I was just wondering if you had ever encountered anything like that.
Yeah. I mean, I write all kinds of people who aren't me, and then people who, don't express things like I would. I enjoy sort of that, what was that person? I'm trying to think. I'm like looking down like it's over there. Maybe it was Plato. I don't know. Someone correct me. Transmigration of the soul. Does anyone know what I'm talking about? Where they like when you die, then your soul goes on to, but I think for writers, I think it happens for us in this lifetime. And we transmigrate. We're always, in my experience, I'm always migrating into another character, not into another person, not into a living person, but into a character, which is a place where I can take up residence and see the world through the eyes, heart, shoes of another person. Like, Like I could write a play with Thomas Jefferson and Sally Hemings in it and see both of their points of view, which are very different. Or the colonel in Father Comes Home from the Wars, who gives a speech about whiteness, who people thought, how'd you write that? I'm like, because I just went there. I just went in there. And it's joyful. You go, you leave yourself. You have to sort of shake, for a minute in your lifetime, Timothy, you shake off your mortal coil. Not that you die, but that you shake off yourself and you move into somebody that you're not. And it's delightful, actually. Yeah. And then, write somebody who agrees with you. It's just you just move back into you.
Right.
Or you move into them.
I guess it was just sort of like, it was a real stretch of empathy, let's put it that way.
It was a real stretch?
Of empathy. You know what I mean? Like, you always want to have empathy for your characters, and to have empathy for this particular character that I wanted to write was a real stretch.
I think the empathy thing, I don't know. I feel like if we can leave behind something like, you see, if you leave behind the concept of empathy, then you're not you thinking about them. If you're them, you don't have to have empathy. You're just them.
You're just them.
You know what I'm saying? You're not like, gosh, I got to feel for this person who's so different from me. You're not feeling that at all because you're them. You're just them. You're not.
Okay.
You see what I mean? So you really have to actually migrate.
Okay.
That's how I do it anyway. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's super helpful. Just push harder.
Well, or not as much. Just like leave yourself behind for a minute. You'll still be there when you come back.
Okay. I'll keep you posted.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thanks,
Timothy. Hi, Joy. Please unmute and ask your question.
Hi, thank you. Hi, SLP and everyone.
Hi.
I love these opportunities to ask even like sticky questions. So piggybacking on what Kayla raised, it may be different for different works. Which comes first, the book or the music, for example, because that's an important collaboration, right? The book writer and the composer. And so with my work, the book came first. I looked for the composer. We hit it off fantastically in the first meeting. I walked in and he had the opening number written and we've never changed it.
Great.
Yeah. So we went forward and had a formal collaboration agreement, which I lobbied for 50-50 in terms of sharing the intellectual property. And I was surprised, one source told me that like the book writer typically gets a third. And I'm thinking, well, why would that be? Because the story typically precedes the music and lyrics. So anyway, fast forwarding many years later, probably as in all collaborations, we don't agree on everything. And so I persist. And so I'm just kind of waiting until we get in a venue with a professional director, perhaps, to guide us through some choices. And so do you have any advice on approach at that point in time?
Right. So this is the same composer collaborator that you worked with who had the first number written.
Yeah. Yeah.
And in my understanding, just to break it down, the percentages, in my understanding, the book writer gets a third if she, they, them contribute a third, meaning the book is a third, the lyrics are a third, and the music is a third.
Right.
That's my understanding.
Yeah, thank you for that clarification.
But were you writing the book and the lyrics?
I wrote some of the lyrics.
Yeah.
And the composer, the way he composes music, his brain does both at the same time.
Right.
So
it sounds like a 50-50.
Yeah, and ended up at 50-50.
Good. That's good. So that's an example, Joy, of you saying what you need and you saying what's right. And the agreements follow that. You know what I mean? So they're not doing a boilerplate thing. They're doing what's actually, they're attendant to what's actually happening in your creative process. So I would say keep the conversation alive.
Yeah.
And when the, you know, because directors really take their cues from the book, from the story, you know, what's happening when, what's happening between the characters and all that good stuff. And that's your wheelhouse. And that's where you need to be very vocal and very present and attending the rehearsals and all those things. Because they're going to be counting on you to help them know what's going on.
Right, right, right.
You know, and in different processes, it's different. If it's a jukebox musical, then, you know, the songs come first, you know. So it's different processes. It works in different ways. But just keep vocal, keep the lines of communication open.
Okay, thank you.
Does that help?
Yeah, that's very reinforcing. Thank you.
Yeah, because they worked for you in the past. That method works for you. To say what you need, say what you've contributed, be very upfront about it. Yeah.
Okay.
Good job, though. You're doing great.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Joy. Hi, Eliza. Please unmute and ask your question.
Hello. So
Hey,
nice to
Eliza.
meet you. I'm so excited to be here. This is so cool. I was wondering, so I've written a handful of 10-minute plays and I love the format. Like I've gotten a lot more comfortable with it. And like going forward, I really want to be able to write longer plays, but I haven't been able to like kind of get a through line that like takes me through those longer pages. And I was wondering if you have any advice for that.
Oh, well, you know, it's funny. Sam Shepard, you know the writer Sam Shepard? Have you heard of him? Sam Shepard. He has this essay called Time, and I'm paraphrasing. I haven't read it in 100 years, but and he basically says like, what's all this concern about like full-length plays? You know what I mean? You know, play should be as long as it is, and these people who like are great at writing 10-minute plays and they stretch it out because they think they have to have a full-length play. Yeah, so he had some thoughts about that. It could be cool if you could find that essay and just,
Yeah.
you know, if you know that. But so if you want to tell I mean, you have to ask yourself at the end of your 10-minute play, now what? I mean, now what do they do? You know,
Yeah.
because even the end of, oh, I don't know, I haven't seen it, but Romeo and Juliet, right? Has a now what? And that's called And Juliet. Right? I mean, I think I haven't seen it, but I saw the poster and I think that's what it's about, like after what supposedly happened. Or you could have, you know, Hamlet, right? Now what? You know what? Like Fortinbras is like walking around. I mean, I don't know, you know, and Horatio is like doing shit, you know, right? So there are other characters. You just have to ask yourself, now what? Now what are they doing? Who's left? Who's left alive? Can we resurrect somebody? Maybe they didn't really die. In minute 3, they didn't really die. It was just a fake. Look, now they're coming back. Just use your imagination. Use your imagination.
So true. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Just have some fun with it. Just have some fun with it. Okay? Okay, thanks.
Thank you, Eliza. Hi, Lauren. Please unmute and ask your question.
Hi, Lauren.
Hello. Hello. I think it's interesting because I'm getting a feeling that what we're talking about is really enjoying the writing. And for the past 2 or 3 weeks, I've been really focusing on it, just enjoying it, not sweating it, just enjoying it, that I'm, you know, and literally having fun with it. And like, okay, this is good. I like this. I'm getting this person to do this and to do that just out of my own imagination. And that's, I mean, you can't ask for much more than that. You know, people need to do stuff like that. It's fun. So, and then yesterday, by happenstance, I saw a short video of the new world champion figure skating woman who won her medal in Boston, my home city. And she had taken a hiatus. She was tired of it. She said, okay, I'm gonna have fun doing this. But then she comes back, she goes, okay, I think I can, and she does an incredible performance.
Wow.
Some of the best figure skating you'll ever see. And she
Wow.
won the world championship.
Wow.
And
Wow.
I'm like, okay, let's have fun. It's
Mhm.
hard in this time to have fun, to think, oh, we're gonna have fun. Because that, you know, there's like cloud over everything. It's not good, but it's okay. Because we're gonna win it. We're gonna win it. And we're gonna do our work, do our art.
Right
Period.
on. Right on, sister. That's exactly, you have captured it. That is exactly it. We're going to do our work
That's
and,
it.
and find the joy in doing our work.
That's it. That's all you could do, really.
That's all we can, that's all we can do.
Yeah, it is.
And be kind to people we during our day.
Yeah. We wring our hands over our writing. We're wringing our hands. We're like, oh Lord. I'm like, don't do that for ourselves, because we're just stressing ourselves out.
Right.
We're already stressed out. It's not good for us.
That is
Good
true.
for anybody. You
That's
know?
true.
Anyway.
That's true. No, that's very true. That's very true. And if you're inclined to do a little hand wringing, go do a little hand wringing. If you don't feel like you're working, if you're not wringing your hands, do a little hand wringing. But like Lauren said, have fun with it. Where's the fun? That's what we said to Eliza. Like, what next? What are they doing next?
Right.
What are they doing? What are they up to?
Exactly. Yeah, because then it becomes more fun. You think, okay, what's the character going to do next? What action are they going to take? Should they take? You know, that's going to really show everybody who this person is and why we're in this situation. You know, it actually becomes kind of fun. You put you're piecing it together. Yep.
Yes. And keep working, keep doing your thing.
Oh yeah, you got to do it. You got to have a certain. It's like exercise. You really need to do it on a somewhat consistent basis for it to work. You don't have to kill yourself. You don't have to, like beat yourself up over it, but do it consistently. That's the key. But that's hard. We have responsibilities, families. It's hard. It's hard. Not easy.
But just like you said, not beat yourself up about it. I find like we work for 20 minutes.
Right.
If you can have a 10-minute daily meditation practice.
Exactly.
Have a 10-minute, 15-minute exercise routine.
Yeah, exactly. That's all you need. You don't need to really go crazy.
Right.
And, you'd be surprised how much you could get done writing in 20 minutes if you sit there and just focus, try to focus and say, okay, you'd be surprised. I am anyway. But
thank you, Lauren.
thank you.
Thank you, Lauren. Hi, Crystal.
Hey, Crystal, how you doing?
Hi.
Hi.
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm well. You look like you're on some fabulous beach vacation or something.
Oh, I'm not. I'm in my daughter's room.
Okay.
But we're good. She's good and everything's good. So I have a question just about a play that I'm writing that I may have to present it in June. It's new. It's not new. I've been working on it for a long time, but it's about a third of the way in. And Lauren was talking about finding the joy and the joy of writing, and my problem with this is that I'm struggling to find the joy in it because the subject matter makes me very angry. And it's a play that I know I have to write. It's a play that deals with, how I think I've mentioned this one before. It's about how the church has handled or ignored shootings of Black men and women. And I just felt like it bothers me so much I have to write this story.
Mm-hmm.
It's like very, it's almost like the irritation, the anger is a little maybe obsessive to where I feel like I'm having trouble funneling into the story or into the characters, even the
Mm-hmm.
characters who I have a problem with.
Yeah.
You know, and I guess my question is like, how, you know, I've always believed that anger is something you start with, not necessarily finish with.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it can start something, but where do we go from there? How I don't feel like it's sustainable for me as a writer to just drive on anger. So and I'm having trouble finding the joy with it because of the anger. So
Mm-hmm.
help me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, you don't have a. I mean, you have kids. I mean, so
I do.
I'm looking at my son. He's not looking. So sometimes, getting angry feels good.
Uh-huh.
No, when I used to, I know people who used to who like yell at the I mean, I don't watch TV anymore, but yell at the television. You know,
Hmm.
sometimes it's a release of energy. Sometimes it feels, and it's funny, the word joy, and we say joy and have fun with it and all that, and joy sometimes means is interpreted or is often interpreted in the marketplace as shut up and smile, right? That's not the joy we're talking about. The joy I'm talking about, the fun I'm talking about, isn't like, yay, now we're all going to be happy and not worry about it. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the fun that comes from dealing with shit, from running the energy that needs to be run, right? And you have fun. Now you're cooking, right? Now you're going. Now the character is saying shit. Maybe she's angry. Maybe she's really happy and full of love. Maybe, whatever he's feeling, whatever they're feeling, whatever, but they're running the energy. They're having that, the current is running, the power is on, whatever metaphor you want to use. So there's joy in that because you're living. Characters are alive, they're communicating, they're saying things. It could be cerebral, it could be all from your gut, it could be all from your heart, wherever it's coming from. Okay. So that kind of excitement. Also, it's not just anger. Crystal, make sure you're giving your characters action.
Mm.
What do they want? What are they doing? They're not just yelling. That's like, yeah, 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 yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The play. It's a dramatic thing. So what are they trying to get by yelling?
Hmm.
Are they trying to convince the person on the other that they're yelling at? Are they just venting? They don't know what to do anymore. They just got to feel better. So when they go home, they can, help their kids with the homework, whatever. I don't know these stories. So, I don't know the play. You see what I mean? Remember, there's action, there's desire. Don't let the anger you're feeling flood over the desire of the character, the want of the character. Remember, characters want things.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay, so you have a character who's angry or feeling angry about a particular topic. They still want something.
Hmm.
Okay, so don't lose sight of that.
Lean into the want.
Yeah, they're yelling because they want something. They're angry because they want something. I mean, it's a play, I don't know if in real life, maybe that works as well, but does that make sense?
Yeah, that
It's
does.
the want. Remember the want. Remember the want. What are they trying to get? What are they trying to do? What are they trying to achieve? And then let the feelings and run as they should.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, and have fun with it. No, but come on, it is fun when you get to tell somebody off because you tell them what's the what. It's kind of fun.
Only when I write it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. The only when you write it, then you're golden. There you go.
Okay.
Okay, darling.
Thank
Great
you.
question. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Hello, Delissa. Please unmute and ask your question.
Hey there,
Alyssa.
SLP. How are you? Hi, everybody.
Good to see you.
I have a question about using flashbacks as a device.
Yes.
Yes. And
Yes.
if it's okay, because I'm new to this and I want to try this,
Okay.
is it to continue a voiceover during a flashback, or is it okay, what's my question?
Oh.
I'm conflicted about using voiceover or having a person step out of the present into a flashback and it becomes a whole different scene.
So this is a film or a,
Oh, this is a play.
oh, this is a play.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So someone's in the middle of a scene, say, where they're, with their best friend on the playground, like, or their best friend out in the field, they're playing catch or whatever, and they have a flashback, and it's when they 2 years before, something like that.
Well, it starts
Right.
from, right. Well, it basically starts with a monologue.
Great.
A monologue, it's, the person is giving something of themselves and the
Okay.
flashback goes into how they got to that place emotionally to like a shift in who they are.
Yeah. So a monologue, correct me if I'm wrong,
Mhm.
you're talking to the audience, correct?
Talking to the people that they're on the stage with. Yeah. So the monologue is to the other. Okay.
Okay, so they're telling a story to the people. Yeah,
Mhm.
then it's just
The
a
other characters.
theatrical it's just a theatrical convention. You're just like, okay, so 2 years ago, this is where I was. The lights are going to change. We're in a different, maybe some signage could be like 2 years earlier.
Mhm.
They're just in the scene.
Okay.
You can completely do that. Just make sure you're always moving back and forth between the time zones for a reason.
Yes.
Make sure you take the audience with you.
Okay.
You know what I mean? This is why we're going here now. And when we're done with the flashback and we want to get back into the present day story, we're leaving the flashback now.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But the characters can talk. Sure, they can keep talking.
Okay. And I'm sure everybody else knows that, but it's the new process for me.
No, it's different. It's different every time.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Great question. Thank you.
Thank you. All
Sure.
right, Kimmy, let's go.
Hey, Kimmy.
Hi.
Hiya.
Guys. It's so nice to see everybody.
Hi.
I just secured housing for my Edinburgh Fringe Festival, and typically I just go and do compilation shows. But this time I'm diving head first and I'm writing my own show for the first time. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So, what do I want?
What do you want? What do you mean?
I can write for all these other characters. When you say, what do you want? Like, I always think about that and I have it written on cards. Like, what do they want? What do they want? So now I'm the character. And I don't know what I want.
Is that so? What's the story?
Well, I'm doing kind of a personalized idea. I told you about, oh, I think I did. I wrote a play called Suicidal Tendencies about a menopausal writer who workshops her suicide note at a writers group.
Right.
Right. And
Right.
so I'm kind of personalizing that. It's a very different play, but I'm taking pieces of it about having called suicide hotline, and then they said, do you have a gun? And I said no, and they said, can you call back later? So
That's amazing.
I know, it's just like I couldn't even believe it. It took me everything in the world to make that call, and then we're like, hey, call back later.
Wow. Wow.
So it's I guess I want to speak to, I want it to be funny, of course, and dark humor, but I also thought that maybe talking about the struggles of mental health and then trying to get help and how difficult that is, I'm trying to find like a manageable through line, I guess. I don't know what I'm even trying to do. I've never, like, I'm a stand-up comic. I do 10, 15 minutes of material, 45 minutes. This is all new new territory for me. And I'm 63 and I'm nervous about memorization, but it's also exhilarating to challenge myself like this.
That's a lot. So let's just take the nervous about memorization. You're gonna write a one-woman show. Is that okay? Could you make it look like a lecture? So I'm just
Like a TED Talk?
Well, TED Talks are memorized as far as I know. So if you make it look like a lecture, then you can be reading off of notes.
Oh, okay.
I'm reverse engineering it. Okay, so you're at Edinburgh, you're happy, you're thrilled, you've written it already, and you can read parts of it from your iPad or whatever.
Okay.
So it's not a TED Talk, it's like a TED Talk adjacent.
Okay.
Because let's just say this character named, what's her name?
It's just going to be me. I don't know.
Her character, Mimi, she couldn't get a TED Talk. She couldn't get a TED Talk. So she got like TED Talk adjacent. It's the talks that they do like,
Yeah.
in the hotel lobby or whatever. I don't know what. So you're reading off your iPad though, right? So you don't have to worry about memorizing it.
That's a really great idea. And I think I will be, I've never really acted. Well, I'm married, so yeah, I act all the time, but hey, don't we all? But I think yes, I love your mother. But I think that if I'm in a character situation, it might be easier for me, I think.
No, you can just play yourself, and or whatever. It's 6 o'clock. I'm looking at the clock, but
sorry.
no, it's okay. Write it. You got what? You got to write like 20 pages of material, right? Play all the characters. Write
Okay.
it. You can write that in a week. You've already written most of it anyway.
Thank you. I
You're
appreciate that.
You're welcome.
I miss you guys so much.
We'll see you next week. Will we be here? Will we do this next week? Tell us, Oracle.
Yeah, will we? No, not next week.
Okay, sorry about that.
But the following week, you betcha, dollars will be here then. So see ya then. Yes.
Thank you. Love you all.
All right, thank you. Bye.
Bye.